Kali, the mother of all symbols. Symbols are a communication technology that can express vast amounts of information in a single image. They are half logical, half abstract illustrations that, when unpacked and pondered upon, help us understand concepts that are too large for the intellect to easily grasp. Concepts like, what is the nature of reality, or how should one move forward in the world? In the arena of great graphics, a few stand above the rest as super symbols that portray universal ideas on both the macro and micro levels of being. The Kabbalah Tree of Life is one such example, as it communicates the processes of the Big Bang, evolution, creativity, psychology, and personal action, to name a few. The triangle is another, portraying layered ideas such as the one, the single point at the top of the triangle, becoming the many, the 2 points at the bottom. Then the many, rising back up to become the one. In my quest to understand the most nutritious and profound philosophical imagery, a specific figure has grabbed me as a personal favorite. Like the Tree of Life or triangle, it can be contemplated on for issues big and small, while offering wise advice on how to perceive the world. This image is both worshipped as a living deity and celebrated symbol, though one does not need to be a devotee or even a believer of any spiritual worldview to extract great meaning from her. Who is she? She is your mom. Or put another way, she is Kali, mother of all things. Through exploring her most famous depiction, her standing on Shiva's chest, we can understand the basics of esoteric philosophy and foundational tenets of ancient Indian spiritual ideas. Let's break down some main points. Her color. Kali is black, like the void that came before existence. She is the unimaginable dark emptiness that created the Big Bang, the universe, and everything in it. Nothing came before her. She exists previous to the creation of time, space, and materiality. Thus, she is formless. Think of it like this. You close your eyes, like right now, close your eyes, and you see nothing but black. This blackness is pregnant with the potential of anything you imagine. This blackness is like Kali. Now imagine something. How about a purple dog? Boom! The blackness, the no-thingness, has given rise to a thing, an image, a specific categorizable object called a purple dog. Now think back to the blackness of your empty imagination, the blackness you saw before envisioning a dog, and parallel that blackness to whatever came before creation. That is like Kali, and that is why her skin is portrayed as black. Sometimes she is portrayed as blue for the same reasons. She is the color of the sky, which is to say, she is transparent, as the sky is also a colorless empty void that we merely perceive as blue because of ongoings with the sun interacting with the atmosphere and so on. So, be she black or blue, Kali's skin color is a metaphor for the formless, the emptiness, the uncategorizable no thing that came before anything. Other cultures may call this the number 0, a non-number that gives rise to any number in all of infinity. Alchemy may call this the prima materia, the original non-substance that can become any element. Western religions may consider this God, before God spoke categorizable, measurable being into existence. Her nudity. Kali is the epitome of energy. This power is complete and all-knowing, and thus can be defined as the truth. This power is used to animate creation, and thus can be defined as life itself. This power sustains its creation the way a mother sustains her child, and thus can be defined as love, truth, life, and love. So what does this have to do with her nudity? She is naked because she is the naked truth. Her nudity represents uncovered, unobstructed, unconditional love and life flowing into all things. Her lack of clothing represents the energy that sits behind the veils of materiality. Her gender. She is before name, form, and categories. Thus, Kali would not have human anatomical gendering. But for the purposes of our little minds trying to use words to describe that which is beyond words, we call her female to illuminate the idea that she gave birth to all things and continues to nurture the cosmos with her energy via motherly love. Even the harsh lessons of life are provided by her as a means to help us grow through evolutionary pressure. Her hair. Her hair is messy and unkept, showing us that she is wild, raw energy that nothing can control. It represents the expansion of the universe, which, to us, is an unimaginably vast black void that goes on forever. This infinity may be large to us, but to her, it's merely just stuff that extends from her head. Again, this is just a metaphor to help us measure the enormity of her power. In Hindu symbolism, a goddess with done-up, bound hair represents managed energies, say, the domestication of nature's energies in the craft of agriculture, or the organization of vitality to create music. Kali's untamed hair shows us that she is the whole of energy before it has been sculpted into specific categories. Other gods and goddesses are but the result of her lending slivers of her power to more finite forms and forces. Her necklace of skulls. Around her neck is a garland of skulls, sometimes depicted as bloody, decapitated human heads. These represent the alphabet. One of many ways to look at this, which reflects the veils around goddess Isis in Egyptian and Greek worldviews, shows us that language is a feeble, limited technology that attempts to express the truth, but never can. Words are, at best, a dead ornament that hangs loosely on the truth, portraying the general shape of what's trying to be communicated. To wrap our minds around this, think of a time when you were absolutely emotionally devastated. The painful energy inside of you burns with the intensity of 5 billion atomic bombs. This is your pure truth. You then try to use words to convey this truth by telling a friend how you feel. No matter how hard you try, your words will not make them experience the same exact pain boiling inside of you. They might feel compassion, but they will not know the truth of what's in you in that moment. You can write volumes of books trying to describe the angst you feel, but nobody will experience your truth exactly the way you feel it. Words are diluted, low-energy fragments of your truth, being shot out into the limited physical world, looking for limited physical recipients to analyze what you're saying with their limited physical intellects. A lot gets lost in translation. Similarly, the truth of life energy cannot be conveyed with words. Language can hang on it and portray the general shape of it, but words can never be the thing itself. Let's try another comparative philosophy way to look at it. When we compare this analogy to the idea that God spoke being into existence, we can view all of physical reality as words or vibrations emanating from a single whole energetic source. In this, we would be the fragments of this source, using other fragments around us to try to understand and experience this wholeness. If this source is called love, we engage with pieces of love, love of country, love of certain people, or love of certain things, to try to know the epitome of love. If we call this source energy, we seek pieces of this energy via food, hobbies, drugs, and so forth to simulate the fleeting feeling of a permanent, never-ending source of energy. If all things in physical reality are words, and words are a feeble technology that points to the truth, but are not the truth, it stands to reason that all of our worldly desires are mere substitutes for experiencing pure, unobstructed life energy directly. Her arms. In this image, Kali has 4 arms. 2 of them are pleasant. They are bestowing boons and blessings, with a hand in the mudra that represents loving reassurance and safety, and the idea that one should fear not. The other 2 arms are scary. One holds a sword, the other holds a severed head. The sword represents discrimination, as in the ability to train our mind to know what is real and reject what is not real, to know what aids our evolution versus what drives us to ignorant de-evolution. The severed head is from the slain demon of ignorance, often a parallel for an immature animalistic ego, which is destroyed by the power of truth, by the power of Mother Kali. From our tiny perspectives, love, truth, and extreme energy can be either pleasant or scary, depending how we interact with it. Thus, Kali can be viewed as nice or mean if seen from a dualistic limitation, hence her depiction as both scary and loving. If viewed from mature non-duality, we can realize love, truth, and energy are not good nor bad. They are forces that we ignorantly define as good or bad, depending on how it serves our particular experiences in the particular moment. Is electricity good or bad? Or does it depend on the particular machine that it is powering? Now that we've described attributes of the epitome of life energy, let's see how it applies to us. She stands on Shiva. Here, Kali stands on Shava, the corpse version of Lord Shiva. He represents the epitome of physical form. He is a corpse, he is dead, because without Kali, he is an empty, inert shell. Kali is energy, and he is the vehicle that uses the energy to move. He is physical reality, and she is the force that animates physical reality. What do we do with such an understanding? For one, we can relate ourselves to this image. We can view our human vehicle as Shiva, powered by Kali. We can deduce that without life energy, without Kali, our human vehicle is dead. Thus, we must actually be life energy itself. So we ask again, what is life energy? Perhaps it is something like Kali. Perhaps we are something like Kali at our core. Since this image helps us understand the nature of Kali, it can also help us identify the nature of ourselves as the life energy animating our human machinery. It can help us identify as the authority of our minds, bodies, and emotions, instead of thinking that we are actually our minds, bodies, and emotions themselves. This is important because they're not always so smart, these minds, bodies, and emotions. They're like wild puppies, and they are often known to just chase blindly short-term appetites that feel good, yet cause damage, like chasing junk food, drugs, or bad habits. They feel good in the short term, but they'll wreck us in the long term. Paradoxically, our mind, body, and emotions often run from the discomforts that lead to health and freedom, like fitness or learning or important responsibilities. These things don't feel good in the short term, but they build us a wonderful long term. It's difficult to achieve our goals if the attachments and aversions of our human body commandeer our willpower and drag us towards bondage. Rather, we want the opposite. We want evolution, which is the path to freedom and the ability to express life energy, that is to say, to express our true selves more powerfully. When we identify as life energy and not the human vehicle, we realize that we can teach our human forms to collaborate with us instead of forcing us to be slaves to their transitory whims. Imagine, say, when you're dedicated to eating healthy, but then your body says, no, you're going to eat that donut. And then somehow the body drags you to the donut, and now you've eaten the donut, and now you're less healthy. Imagine you tell your mind, hey, maybe stop analyzing stressful things. I'm trying to sleep. I need the sleep because I have an important meeting tomorrow. And the mind's like, nope, I am going to drag you through anxiety all night, and it's going to screw up your day tomorrow. This shows us a schism. Our mind and what we are, life energy, might be two different things, and we might want to learn to domesticate our minds and our bodies and emotions to collaborate with us being, say, the puppy trainer, and them being the puppies. The study of life energy is the study of Kali. By understanding aspects of Kali, we attempt to understand our truest nature. This understanding can help us achieve greater freedom and possibly set us up on a course of becoming wiser and more sensitive to the entirety of reality. And before we get all huge and super spiritual about this, such an understanding might just help us achieve our goals and stop being distracted by things that hurt us. I asked Reverend Dr. Swami Bhajanananda Saraswati, head priest of the Kali Mandir in Laguna Beach, what benefits come from exploring this mysterious goddess. He said, by understanding her, we understand ourselves profoundly because she has become us. The symbol is a mystery. It's the mystery at the heart of everything, including our heart. That is ultimately what we are after. Esoteric philosophy generally lends itself back to one idea: know thyself. Perhaps we are a tiny piece of Kali trapped inside the mud of materialism, trying to reconnect with the whole of Kali. Put another way, maybe we are like a confused child, life energy, trying to, through the education of human existence, reconnect with our mother, the source of life energy. This article is but a brief glance at the symbolic and experiential depths Mother Kali and her symbolism can provide. There are so many more elements to explore from a variety of angles. What is described here is, at best, a decent foundation to grasp some general notions of ancient Indian philosophy and esoteric mystic worldviews. It also touches the basics of science and psychology as we know it today. If this strikes you, keep digging. It could expand your relationship with all kinds of categories of existence and enhance your understanding of other systems and symbols.